There's a country in Africa that basically plays by its own rules. It was never colonized. It runs on its own unique calendar that's roughly 7 years behind the rest of the world. And it happens to be where we found the oldest human ancestor ever discovered. That country is Ethiopia. Today, we're looking at 5 facts about it that honestly sound like fake internet trivia, but are completely true. Fact number 3, that one will actually break your brain a little. Stay with me. Ethiopia sits right in the Horn of Africa, sharing borders with Sudan, Kenya, and Somalia. It's actually the second most populous country on the continent, home to over 120 million people, and it holds one of the oldest, richest histories on the planet. For most people, though, knowledge of Ethiopia stops at world-class coffee or legendary long-distance runners. But once you hear these 5 facts, you'll see exactly why historians, scientists, and travelers are so deeply obsessed with this place. Let's start with something that literally rewrites the story of humanity itself. Back in 1974, a group of archaeologists working in the dry, rugged landscape of Hadar in northeastern Ethiopia stumbled upon a discovery that would completely change our understanding of human history. Buried beneath layers of ancient earth was the partial skeleton of a female who had lived around 3.2 million years ago. The team named her Lucy. She belonged to an early human species called Australopithecus afarensis. Although millions of years had passed since she was alive, about 40% of her skeleton had survived, an astonishing level of preservation for a fossil that old. At the time, it was the most complete early human ancestor ever discovered. Lucy stood just over 3 feet tall. Her brain was still relatively small, much like an ape's, but her legs and hips told a different story. She walked upright on 2 feet, making her one of the clearest pieces of evidence that our ancestors had already begun the long journey from life in the trees to life on the ground. And Lucy was only the beginning. Over the decades, Ethiopia's Great Rift Valley has yielded one remarkable fossil after another. Ancient skulls, jaws, footprints, and bones have emerged from the earth, helping scientists piece together one of the greatest mysteries ever asked. Where did humans come from? That's why Ethiopia is often described as one of the world's cradles of humankind, alongside neighboring parts of Kenya and Tanzania. Few places on Earth have contributed so much to the story of our origins. Now pause and imagine this for a moment. If you were standing in parts of rural Ethiopia today, the ground beneath your feet could be the very same landscape where some of our earliest ancestors walked millions of years before cities, civilizations, or even recorded history existed. It's a humbling thought. Long before kingdoms rose, before pyramids were built, before the first words were ever written down, this corner of Africa was already witnessing the earliest chapters of the human story. And in many ways, that story began right here. Here's a fact that surprises a lot of people. Ethiopia is one of the very few African countries that was never successfully colonized by a European power. The defining moment came in 1896 at the Battle of Adwa. Italy had invaded Ethiopia expecting a quick victory. Instead, it walked into one of the biggest military upsets of the colonial era. Under Emperor Menelik II, Ethiopian forces defeated the invading Italian army and forced one of Europe's rising powers to abandon its plans of turning Ethiopia into a colony. The victory sent shockwaves around the world. At the time, European empires had already divided almost the entire African continent among themselves. Ethiopia's victory proved that a European army could be beaten on African soil. For many people living under colonial rule, Adwa became a symbol of hope and resistance. That doesn't mean Ethiopia never faced occupation. In 1936, under Benito Mussolini, Italy invaded again and occupied the country during the Second World War. But the occupation lasted only 5 years. Ethiopian resistance fighters, together with Allied forces, drove the Italians out in 1941, restoring the country's independence. That history still shapes Ethiopia today. Unlike most African nations, Ethiopia didn't gain its independence when a colonial power decided to leave. It fought for it, defended it, and held on to it. And that's one of the biggest reasons why the Battle of Adwa remains one of the proudest chapters in the country's history. Imagine landing in Ethiopia, checking your phone for the date, then asking someone nearby what day it is. there's a good chance their answer won't match your phone at all. That's because Ethiopia doesn't use the same calendar as most of the world. Instead, it follows the Ethiopian calendar, a system rooted in the ancient Coptic and Julian calendars. As a result, the Ethiopian year is about 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar used internationally, depending on the time of year. And this isn't just an old tradition that's brought out for religious ceremonies. It's the country's official calendar. It's used for government records, schools, businesses, public holidays, and even birth certificates. For millions of Ethiopians, it's simply the normal way of keeping time. It gets even more fascinating. Instead of 12 months, the Ethiopian calendar has 13. The first 12 months each have exactly 30 days, and the final month has just 5 days, or 6 during a leap year. It's such a distinctive feature that Ethiopia has turned it into a national slogan, proudly calling itself the land of 13 months of sunshine. So while the rest of the world follows one calendar, Ethiopia has continued using its own for centuries. Proof that even something as universal as the date can depend entirely on where you are. If you had a cup of coffee this morning, there's a good chance you have Ethiopia to thank for it. Coffee is widely believed to have originated in Ethiopia's Kaffa region, and many historians think that's where the word coffee itself comes from. There's also a famous legend about how it was discovered. A goat herder named Kaldi noticed that his goats became unusually energetic after eating bright red berries from a wild shrub. Curious, he tried the berries himself and felt the same burst of energy. Whether that story is true or just a great piece of folklore, one thing isn't up for debate. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, and here coffee is much more than just a drink. Across the country, families still perform the traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Green coffee beans are roasted by hand, ground fresh, then brewed in a beautiful clay pot called a jabina. The coffee is served over 3 rounds, often with incense filling the room and popcorn served on the side. The whole ceremony can last more than an hour. It's not about grabbing caffeine before work. It's about slowing down, spending time together, and welcoming guests. Even today, coffee is one of Ethiopia's biggest exports and a huge source of national pride. So the next time you take a sip of coffee, remember, the story in your cup may have started thousands of years ago in the highlands of Ethiopia. And now to fact number 5. When most people picture Ethiopia, they imagine vast deserts or dry savannas. But the country is actually home to some of Africa's tallest and most spectacular mountains. The Simien Mountains rise to over 4,500 meters above sea level, making them one of the highest mountain ranges on the continent. Their dramatic cliffs, deep valleys, and jagged peaks are so unique that they're often called the roof of Africa. This incredible landscape is also home to wildlife found almost nowhere else on Earth, including the Galata monkey, often nicknamed the bleeding heart monkey because of the bright red patch on his chest, and the endangered Ethiopian wolf, Africa's rarest wild canine. Thanks to their breathtaking scenery and extraordinary biodiversity, the Simien Mountains were among the very first places ever added to UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1978. So Ethiopia isn't just a land of ancient history, it's also one of Africa's greatest destinations for mountain adventure and unique wildlife. So there you have it, 5 facts about Ethiopia, the birthplace of humankind, the only African nation to successfully resist colonization, a calendar running years behind the rest of the world, the true origin of coffee, and one of Africa's highest mountain ranges. If you learned something new today, drop a comment and let me know which fact surprised you the most. And if you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. There are plenty more countries with stories just as wild as this one still to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.